Jurgen, just looking for an update on Bobby from you. First of all, whether or not you have any further indication whether he'll be back before the end of the season.
I was still thinking that. But didn't I say last week he will not be back this week as well? I thought I said that, but I remember quite a lot of times that you don't listen. So no, this week, no. I hope that at the end of the week he's closer, but so far I was on a team training, so that's it.
After over a year between Liverpool goals, Diogo Jota's now got 4 in his last 2. What's really clicked for him, and you kind of sum up the difference he makes to your side when he's fully fit and firing, not just from a goals perspective either?
Nothing really. He just got back to speed. Up to speed. He was an exceptional player since Diogo joined us. He did exceptional stuff for us, and super smart player, can play really different positions. Has a few super interesting skills for an offensive player. He's not the tallest, but an extreme threat in the air. Timing is top. Can finish with both feet, which is extremely helpful. Has the speed. That's it. But Diogo was now this year obviously a really bad injury, or this season a really bad injury. Before that, little things here and there, so that kept him a little bit back. Nothing else. If Diogo can stay fit, he's really an outstanding player because he knows how football goes. So he is one of these players you could discuss probably a whole day about things in football, because he is thinking a lot himself, and makes it really simple to work with him. His only problem was that he got the injury this year. Otherwise, it would have not only 4 goals. But when you are that long injured, then you need rhythm. You need to get back, and that's the most typical thing, because it's a ongoing season, and nobody waits for you pretty much. And for that reason, it's now really cool that he could score these goals, and for us, all of them were obviously super important.
And as a group, what have you shown by at least getting back into the picture?
Nothing.
Because I wouldn't move you above Spurs now, and it just feels like an opportunity again against West Ham to push the door to European qualification, open that a bit more. Yeah,
but you could say the same about West Ham. They found their feedback as well, so it's like let's see who can sort that better. Yeah, I'm not sure we showed already what we like. What you mean probably with the question? It's we have to still prove ourselves. So that's it. We cannot talk about consistency when you win 2 games, especially when you win the second game like the last one. I liked a lot in the game, but obviously defending their throw-ins was not perfect, to say at least. And that can happen, obviously, because we were prepared for it as good as we could, but nobody can be really prepared for these kind of things, because it's completely different in training situations and all these kind of things. No, we have to make the next step. That's it. We have to keep going. I think a lot of things to like in the last 2.5 games, and that's what we have to continue. We need to make sure that it's not that difficult for people to watch us, that they like it again, and that they think, okay, that's it. That's a good way to start a football game. It's a good way to play a football game and to finish a football game, and that's exactly what we want to do. That we changed a couple of things and that we put a finger in again in with more. Give them more importance. I think that's clear. The way we defend altogether must be different to a lot of games we played this season, and it will stay a subject until I leave here, whenever that will be, and that must be 100% clear. And I think that I like the most. That yes, we struggled with set pieces. That's true in this last game with throw-ins at least, but in all other games we were super stable, and that's really important. And so the next game will be slightly different. Yes, West Ham is a top set piece team as well. Against Bournemouth, I think 2 goals came from a set piece, 2 came from a counter attack, from crosses exactly. So that's what we have to be prepared for again. But the ball will be on the ground as well from time to time, and that's where we have to make sure that we can control the game as difficult as it will be.
You've alluded to that. You
sort of getting back on track. West Ham getting back on track as well, moving away from the bottom in the European semi-finals as well. Despite you and David Moyes being under scrutiny, should we say, from certain quarters. How important then was that support that you got and that David got when it mattered from the top for you both to be in that position?
Usually I don't look that much what in other clubs happens, but I think not only that, I think there were for sure discussions, like maybe we're here when things don't go well, about sacking the manager, stuff like this. But this specific one was really, really in it, because if West Ham would have sacked David Moyes, I would have been the oldest manager in the Premier League, and I wanted to avoid that. Really, somebody told me that before the season I'm the second oldest. Who's the oldest? David Moyes. So since then, I cross fingers crossed for West Ham. Yes. David has to stay. But I'm really happy. David is a super good. I know him for 6.5, 7 years. He's a top colleague, and he's doing an incredible job, and things like this can happen. But I think they have a good team, and they show now the quality again. And when you see the lineup from the last game, if they can go through games without big injuries, to a season without big injuries, then all of a sudden they are able to play really good stuff, like they did last season and the season before. So yeah, super dangerous and difficult game for us, definitely. So we have to be absolutely on top. We have to, how what is said, then we have to make the next step, keeping at least the standards of the last 2 games defensively, and then going from there, being uncomfortable to play against. That must be our target. It's an away game, but thank God we won at least one away game recently, which is good. Not bothered at all about the result, just that we won it, and that's what we have to try again.
And in terms of, you mentioned about them, touchwood, avoiding any injuries for their rest of the season as well. You've managed to name the same starting line for the last 3 in a row now, which you've not managed to do since the start of 2020. How important has that been in terms of stability and momentum and everything?
Has been important, yes, absolutely good, but we would have had the options as well to start differently, so that's good as well, because sometimes you start the same lineup just because you don't have alternatives. This time it was different, so it was clear that in the few sessions we had, and thank God we had really quite a few sessions, the players had to prove themselves that they want to start again, and all the others had to show me that they want to start as well. So these kind of things, that was the mood we had in training. And that helped as well. So having 11 players all the time is good, but there's a point where it could be too intense. But for these 3 games it worked out, and I'm happy with that.
You call David a top colleague, he's baby. But what is it you admire, you like about him then?
He always finds a way.
To
First and foremost, he's a really nice guy. So I met him a couple of times. We had a beer after the game or stuff like this at any kind of coaches meetings. He's a really good person, as far as I know, and I like that. And he always finds a way. That makes a top manager. So he always finds a way to get a team going. It might not have worked out years ago once at Man United, but that was the most difficult moment to join Man United in the history of football. Coming after Sir Alex Ferguson, congratulations, easy job. So apart from that, Davis stands for consistency. Long spells at Everton, obviously years ago, and now West Ham. Made West Ham his club, even when he was out for a while. But it's clear, it's always difficult to play them. Always difficult to play. And how I said, he always finds a way to win football games, and that I respect that a lot.
You've already spoken a little bit about Diogo Jota, how good it is to have him back, but how pleased are you with the overall form and touch of all your forward players? I think the last 20 Premier League goals have been scored by your forward players. How encouraging is that?
Good. Again, it's important for us. It's important for us. Yes, we have been. The boys are there not only for scoring, but we need them for defending. That was a bit of a problem in moments this season, that we've lost that focus. But that's for me, to be honest, the first job for the offensive players as well, because that gives you stability. If you defend really as a unit, and we don't need any kind of players waiting in positions for a counter attack or for whatever. We need players to defend collectively, and in that moment when we get the ball, then we have the speed and we have the technique to cause problems for other teams. So that's how it is. But yes, it's good. And now, and Lucho was not obviously, Luis Diaz was not obviously really involved in that, scoring at least. And so important to have them all back, because now we had for 1 week we had 6 offensive players, and then Bobby was out, so now we have 5 again. But that's good, and I hope we can keep them fit until the end of the season, and then they will all play their role and are all allowed and invited to score, to keep scoring, like our midfielders, because all the goals, most of the goals probably are set up by other players. If it was, I don't know, Fab, Trent, Robbo, Hendo, whoever set it up, these situations are obviously as important as the others. So no, if these boys are fit, we have real quality there in that area of the pitch. But yeah, for a long time this year, some of them were not fit, and that caused us some problems.
Carl, we do have PA at the back.
My plans for him, yeah, we are in constant contact. We have Pep Linders installed a group with our on loan players, and obviously a WhatsApp group, and obviously we are watching really closely what he's doing, and it's great. Obviously, not sure if he will become player of the season there, but for sure he's a contender for that, which is absolutely great. We knew what we have in our hands when he was here, but for young boys there must be an opportunity to make the next step with playing, and I think that was now a typical win-win situation. It was good for us, good for him, good for the club, and that's I like that a lot. Our plans are bring him back and go in the preseason, and then enjoy the steps he made, and then we will decide together how we will, what we will be doing from that moment on. But the plans are at the moment bring him back and keep him. But we will see that.
You mentioned how much he's sort of benefited from the time at Bolton. How much has he also benefited from international football as well?
I think that's a confidence boost when you are invited and when you are playing for your country. Of course, that's great, but it's not that often. It happens, but it's not that often. It's more like, I think it gives you a better feeling about yourself if you get picked for your country. I never had that situation, so I cannot exactly tell how it feels, but I'm pretty sure it's very special, and so it's a super positive moment for him. So everybody speaks positively about him. I think 1.5 years ago, only a few football nerds would have known about him, and now he's really everybody knows him, and that's cool, and that's a first step. That's the first step, and he's our boy, which I like a lot. Super mentality, which is extremely helpful, and all the rest will come, and we are all pretty sure about that. So that's it. Connor will be our player, but how it is in that age group, you have to see. If it makes more sense for him going after preseason again on loan or not, we will decide that then and not now.
Any more Theo before we move on? Theo, then James.
Jurgen, how's Naby doing? Not seen him for a while. He's back in light training. He's in a out of contract at the end of the season. Can he be back before that?
If everything goes well, I think he could be in partial training today. So that's it. That's what I heard yesterday. He was not in team training yet, but he could do warming up. If he do rondos, he could do that, and then he has again to do his own program. So means yes, much closer, much closer.
James.
Yeah, where are you up to in terms of finding a new sporting director? Are you heavily involved in those discussions?
In the discussions, there's no real discussions. There are talks. There's nothing. I am not involved in the talks, but in the maybe the talks around, yes. But I'm not the person in the club who can give real answer about where it stands. That's in the hands of other people. But what I heard, it's all going the right direction.
Right. And obviously, it's a structure you've been used to working with. Is it one you expect to keep working with going forward after Julian's left?
Yeah. What do you mean with the sporting director?
Yeah.
How many clubs are there out there without a sporting director now? You mean the old version where the manager is doing everything?
Yeah.
But how many clubs do we have anymore? It would be really interesting. Is there any club without a sporting director? Or a guy in the role of a sporting director. Going up from City, Arsenal, no, United, sporting director?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You don't know, that speaks for you, why you are. Yeah, they have one, yeah. Yeah, great. Okay, so now we go down. Pretty much everybody has a sporting director, and that's because it makes sense. It makes sense. It's not to do with the decisions, how a manager is involved in decision making. That's not a thing, but the process. If a manager has to do that, I don't know how the guys did that in the past. I have no clue. Around it, talking to all the agents and all these kind of things, and constantly talking about a pound here and a pound there. You need people for that. There's no chance, and that's why. Yes, I'm happy with the structure, and the person will be, but the guy we get or the lady we get will be absolutely right. But nothing to say in the moment.
Definitely last one for the embargo.
Just finally, have you got any injury news or any knocks to update Liverpool?
Yeah, we have to see. We have to be used to the full time until tomorrow. Well, we leave today, so the decision we have to make today. So Ivo, we need to see how it's with him. But in the moment, I'm rather positive, but that doesn't mean a lot. From possible starters, I think that's it.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video today. If you want to join redmenplus.com, then do it. If you want to join redmenplus.com and get extra perks like a 20% discount code each and every month off Redmen merch, then yeah, head over to redmenplus.com, join or upgrade to Club Legend status, and you'll be sent that code in your inbox every